Hello, welcome to Glasgow Rangers Nation. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Depends, obviously, when you're watching the video. I want to cover all bases here on the channel. So, this is Glasgow Rangers Nation. This is your free Rangers news channel, guys. We don't charge you for any of the concept. We are a fan community building together. Thanks for watching. Yeah, absolutely. You know, this is it. This is it, guys. Yeah, if you want to become a member, please become a member. 99p. Also, smash the sub. Smash the like, do all that great stuff, help the channel. So we're going to talk about a possible midfield rebuild. Look, I know, before anyone writes it in the comments section, before anyone says it, transfer rumours, transfer pish, silly season. Yes, look, January, you know what? You know what's really scary? What's really scary is about 13 days away. Forget Christmas. Forget the fact we're, fast approaching Christmas. Forget that. We're 13 days away from the real giving of presents. Yes, the January transfer window opens. Guys, forget the fat man in red. We want the fat man with a beard to get us some nice presents in January, don't we? Now, two names have come up time and time again, well, a fair few times now, in relation to Rangers and possible signings in January. One is a Romanian midfielder, a teammate of Yanis Hadji for the national team, and the other one is a Croatian central midfielder, a defensive central midfielder, a number 6, who is a defensive midfielder, and something I think we do need. We do need cover for Nicholas Raskin. Raskin is doing very well. He's playing very well at this moment in time, but he does have that rather checkered injury history. Connor Barron, I don't think really is a 6. That's not really his natural position. I think he's more an 8, a box to box. He'll do that for you. He's got energy to get up and down. I think Cameron's been very clever with how he's using him at the moment. I think he's using him sparingly, bringing him through, reintroducing him to the team, and getting him up to speed. I think that's very good. Now we've got these two players, Darius Olaru and Olaru. It sounds like he's from Australia, doesn't he? Olaru. Get some snags on the barbie, chase the roos down the road, put them on the rhubars and all that. Anyway, that's an aside. Dennis Olaru. This is Dennis Olaru. He is Dennis. No, he's not called Dennis. He's called Darius. It'd be great if he was called Dennis. I love that name, Dennis. No, Darius Olaru even. He is a Romanian midfield player. He can play central midfield. He can play attacking midfield. Some of you may have heard of him. Some of you may not have heard of him. Some of you may have even seen him play. If you went to Ibrox and you watched the game against FCSB in the Europa League, you would have seen Olaru play. He plays currently for FCSB, but he is ready to move away. He is ready for a new challenge for FCSB. He's ready to get a fresh start, and it is thought that Rangers are ready to offer him said fresh start. Now, he's 26 years old, so slightly out of that kind of age bracket that we've been looking at, but Rangers have proved, obviously, with the signing of Robin Proper, it's not just kids we are looking at. We are looking at experienced players too. He's 5'10". He has 26 Romanian caps. Has played for Romania, obviously, has played alongside our very own Yanis Hadji. He's turned, in terms of his career, he started his career with CSS Medias and then went to Gaz Metan Medias, who sounds like, your dodgy mate down the pub, before he joined FCSB in 2020. In terms of his whole career statistics, he's made 322 appearances in professional football, scoring 57 goals. In terms of his time at FCSB, he's made 202 appearances, scoring 46 goals. Now, if we look at Dennis Olaru's stats for this season overall, well, actually, let's start in the league with a bit of league featuring here. This is league stats. In the Romanian Super League, and look, they're very good stats. They're very, very good stats indeed. He's made 15 appearances. He's scored 6 goals and has 3 assists in those 15 games. So 9 goal contributions in 15 games is absolutely excellent. It really, genuinely is. He's good going forward. He's good taking chances. He's good at creating chances. All-round top player. He's played in 65% of the starting 11s for FCSB, plays 61% of their minutes, and has a 30% goal participation rate for FCSB. In terms of his whole season with them, again, very impressive looking stats. 28 games in total for FCSB this season, 13 goals, which from midfield, is badly what Rangers need. At the end of the day, we really do need that situation where we are, getting extra goals from midfield, and it's something that's been missing from the team for a period of time now. Missing those extra goals from midfield, the midfielders chipping in with those valuable extra goals to supplement the strikers, and 13 is a substantial number for a midfield player. A goal averages a goal every 155 minutes, which is better than probably some of our strikers. 7 assists, so 20 goal contributions in 28 is certainly outstanding from Olaru. Now, it's felt that, even though transfer market list is valued at around £6 million, that he could be on offer for as little as £4.5 million, which Rangers have proved in the past with Nadim Bayrami that they're willing to pay. Now, some of you may say, well, we would be bought Bayrami, why would we buy Olaru? And when we've got Hadji, it may be a situation that one of those players be moved on. Hadji could be moved, we don't know. But, we do need to add extra strength in depth. We do need to add extra players. And Olaru certainly is someone who is interesting the club, according to reports in Romania and reports in a number of the British media as well. Personally, my own feeling on this, he looks a good footballer. He looks an exciting talent. He looks an attacking talent. He looks like someone who can certainly bring something and add something to our midfield. Now, at this moment in time, Yanis Hadji is doing a brilliant job in the 10 role. Don't get me wrong. It could be that Olaru goes in and slots in alongside the 6, or does come in and spell Hadji. Clement has proved that he likes to rotate, that he likes to, change his players round. Look, Nadim Bayrami looks a decent player, but I still have my odd doubt about Nadim Bayrami. Looking a bit lazy at times and perhaps not have settled in perhaps how we'd hoped he would have done. And Olaru, I think, looked, like a possible quality player. And, I think he could really add to this squad if it is a viable option. But certainly a very interesting name, an interesting player indeed, guys. I'd love to know your thoughts on Olaru for that £4.5 million. Okay, the other name that is currently doing the rounds is this young man here, Marko Soldo, 21-year-old Croatian player. Some of you mentioned him in the podcast last night. If you haven't checked that out, please obviously go onto the live tab on the channel and give it a check out. Marko Soldo is 21. He is over 6 foot. He is a number 6. He specialises in smashing things up, in destroying, in starting attacks off, in being that kind of metronomic presence at the base of the midfield, the quarterback, the leader of the midfield. As a player, where did he begin? Well, he started with Esbjerg. He went to Dinamo Zagreb. From Zagreb, he went to Šibenik on loan. He went back to Zagreb, then to Gorica on loan. Then from back to Zagreb again, and then Zagreb sold him to Osijek, where he presently is. Now, he is thought to be available for a bargain fee of around £1.5 to £2.5 million. And looks like a very promising young talent. Certainly someone who very much fits in with the trading model for the club. He's under contract until 2027. He is right-footed. He's played for the Croatian under-21s. And like I said, looks a very good, promising young player. And certainly someone who could come in and help to give Nicholas Raskin time off, to spell Raskin, to give Raskin those games so that we don't risk injuring the very talented Belgian. In terms of Soldo's record this season, he's made 23 appearances in total, 6 goals, 4 assists. 10 goal contributions from number 6 is pretty good. Now, the one thing this kind of says to me, these two players that have been linked in Soldo and in Olaru, is it's about adding goals and assists from midfield. That is 30 goal contributions from 2 players. And look, I think, one thing we can all kind of relate to a little bit is the lack of goals from midfield. You don't see a lot of goals from Hadji. You don't see, you see the odd few couple from Bayrami. You don't see any from Raskin or Baron. So, it's one area we are seemingly lacking is goals from midfield. And this could be very much about not only adding those jigsaw pieces, those extra players to build the midfield, which I know, people talked around the cup final of us being a little bit short in that area. And in the Spurs game, a bit short in that area. These players could add to that and take away that lack of depth in that area. And, the most important thing it seems that we are looking in these players is, one, that Soldo is that 6 that we need to add. We've been needing to add for a long time. But not only that, the Olaru and Soldo bring goals, bring assists. You know, the goals, like I said, are certainly something that is missing from our midfield as we presently speak. In terms of the breakdown of his season this season, he's made 17 league appearances in the Supersport HNL, scoring 4 goals, 4 assists. I mean, 8 goal contributions, 17 from a 6 is pretty decent. 4 appearances in the Conference League qualifiers and 2 appearances with 2 goals in the Croatian Cup. I mean, a goal every 68 minutes for a 6 is pretty good indeed. Like I said, he looks a very promising, talented young player. Look, like I said, I do believe there is sort of kind of method to the madness here. Now, do I believe that these rumours are necessary? You know, they could be a whole load of rubbish. They could honestly be a whole load of pish. We know that. You understand that when it comes to transfer rumours. But the January transfer window is fast approaching. There are going to be names after names linked with Rangers. There is so many factors around this. You know, if you could get $6.5 million for these 2 players, I think, you know, it's bargain basement prices for 2 very good footballers who could really add to this squad and really, you know, push the Rangers team on a little bit, which is something we need. And I think, you know, we saw in that game against Celtic the embryonic beginnings of a decent team, adding a bit more. But, you know, look, at the end of the day, there's questions around this. Of course, there's questions around this. Can we afford £6.5 million for the pair? Do we have £6.5 million? Do we need to sell to buy? What's the situation? Look, we're not going to know, and the club are not going to let it out, are they? Because at the end of the day, the club are not going to come out and say we haven't got any money or we've got money, because they're going to set themselves up to fail or set themselves up to be fleeced. That's just the way things are, isn't it, in the professional game? So, look, very interesting names indeed. You know, there's other names have been linked. You know, we've had there's a number of names out there swishing around at this moment in time. There was a Moroccan central defender from Rabat, who we now seem to be developing a partnership with. That's the club that Hamza Igman came from. You know, and we talked on the podcast last night about the English transfer links to Hamza Igman. Igman attracting interest from the likes of Bournemouth and Bournemouth and Everton and West Ham and Brentford, for example, all in for the player, apparently. You know, we spoke about that and I gave my thoughts on feelings on that. If you want to know what my thoughts and feelings are about Hamza and about the possible transfer and sale of Hamza in January, check out last night's podcast. But look, overall, like I said, promising players, decent links. What we need in January is to add quality. Look, we're not going to go out there, I don't think, and sign 3, 4, 5, 6 players. Well, 3 possibly, but not 4, 5, 6. Certainly not a number of players. We're not going to see a massive changeover in the squad. That is for the summer. What we're going to see, I think, is a couple of 3 additions to add to the squad, to develop the squad, and to thicken out the squad. Now, whether that's spending money or loans or transfer or freeze or, you know, loans with an obligation to buy, I don't know. I'm not privy to those discussions. I don't sit in, you know, board meetings. I don't sit in meetings between Patrick Stewart and Niels Koppen and Philippe Clement. Wish I did. I genuinely wish I did. So I could bring you the lowdown. But, you know, we are what we are, where we are. But I do think there is a need to strengthen. There's a number of positions we need to strengthen, I believe. If we were to go and get a couple of midfield players and a striker, I think that would be an excellent bit of business this summer. I still think centre-back is a position we need to address. Right-back, I think we need to address as well. Winger, right winger, I think we need a right winger, because I think, you know, we need someone to back up Tierney. Tierney, I don't think will be here next season, because I don't think we can afford the $6 million for him. You know, which I think is probably going to rise. I don't think it's going to be $6 million for Tierney. I think it's been close to 10 for him. So look, you know, there are loads of positions, but like I said, I don't realistically think that 5, 6 players are going to come in this window. Right, guys, let me know your thoughts on the upcoming window. Let me know your thoughts and where you think we need to strengthen and what you think of Olaru and Soldo. Like I said, Olaru sounds like some sort of Australian, isn't it? Oh, that's Olaru. I'm thinking of probably Ayers Rock. Thanks for watching. As always, guys, on the way out, please smash the like, subscribe, help the channel to keep on building as we seek to obviously try and get this channel up to full time in the near future. Remember this, please smash the sub target 7,000, not million, wish it was 7 million, 7,000, not Mr. Beast though, 7,000 subs by New Year's Day. Remember to support the channel with super thanks, super chats, super stickers in lives, and become a member for as little as 99p. Thanks for watching. As always, please remember, never forget, we are the people.